Okay, so today we're going on a pretty wild journey. We're going to start inside the human body, inside our very own arteries, and expand all the way out to the cosmos and to the very structure of knowledge itself. It's a huge leap, but stick with me. So let's start with a really big question, one that affects millions of people. What if you could clear out a clogged artery without having to leave a metal stent behind forever? You know, for decades, these little metal cages have been the go-to solution. They work, but they also bring their own long-term issues. So what if there was a better way? A way to just restore the artery back to how it was meant to be? And that leads us right into our first section, a completely new way of looking at heart health that leaves permanent implants in the past. This is the Morpheus Arterial Restoration System. And yeah, it looks like a high-tech medical device, but it's really a whole new way of thinking. Instead of just propping open a diseased artery, the whole point of this thing is to go in, physically remove the problem, the plaque, and then get out, leaving nothing behind. And when you put it side by side with the old way, the difference is, well, it's night and day. Conventional stents mean you've got a permanent foreign object in your body, which always carries risks of clots or the artery narrowing again. The source even calls it a clinical expiration date. But the Morpheus system, it's all about true restoration. No foreign body, just your own native artery doing its job. It completely eliminates that long-term burden. So you're probably wondering, how does this thing actually work? Well, the procedure itself is just incredibly elegant. It's a triple catheter system. So first, it stabilizes itself inside the artery. Then it deploys this tiny shield to make sure no debris gets loose. After that, microblades gently, and I mean gently, shave away the plaque. And here's the really cool part. It then seals the artery wall with something called VetiGel, which is this amazing plant-based gel. Finally, it sucks up all the debris, and all three catheters are pulled out, leaving the artery totally clear, sealed, and natural. But here's where it gets even more interesting. This way of thinking, this philosophy of non-invasive, holistic support, it doesn't just stop inside our blood vessels. The exact same logic is being applied to the most hostile environment we've ever tried to live in, space. I mean, think about it. The challenges for an astronaut's body are just immense. We're talking bone density loss, muscle wasting, even just getting a good night's sleep is a serious problem in zero gravity. So the same foundational thinking that helps restore an artery is now being used to support the entire human body against those challenges. And this is the solution they came up with? The Morpheus V3 Human Support Architecture. I mean, look at this table. The versatility is just off the charts. It can be in comfort mode for good night's sleep, but then it can switch to axial mode and apply a 30 to 50 kilogram load along the body while the astronaut is sleeping to passively fight bone loss. And for workouts, it can ramp all the way up to 150 kilograms. It's a single system for rest, rehabilitation, and peak physical training. Okay, so we've seen these incredible pieces of engineering, but now we're going to pivot a little bit. We're going to go deeper, moving from the how these things work to the why, the fundamental philosophy that's driving all of it. And the sheer scope of this idea is captured in this document right here. It's called The Elixir of Life. Now hold on, it's not some magic potion. It's a mathematical protocol based on the same framework for reducing cellular oxidation. The whole goal shifts from just fixing problems like a clogged artery to actually optimizing the core processes of life itself. So this whole philosophy has a name, harmonic healing. And what it does is completely redefine what health even means. It's not just about being not sick. It's a state of restored resonance where all your body's systems are in perfect natural harmony. It's an approach that aims to connect physics, biology, and even consciousness, all built on a foundation of logic, balance, and a deep respect for life. So let's take a step back. We've talked about medicine, we've talked about space travel, even life extension. You've got to be wondering, what's the common thread here? Well, it's the framework itself. Just look at this number, 120. Now, what do you think that represents? It's not a list of patents or products. Nope. It's something way, way bigger. And this document right here, this confirms it. The framework claims to have unified 120, that's 120, distinct fields of human knowledge. We're talking everything from fundamental physics to biology to ethics, all woven together with a single continuous thread of logic. Okay, so let's give it its proper name. It's called the Morphean Cosmology Framework, or MCF for short. And its goal, well, It's about as ambitious as it gets. It's an attempt to integrate literally everything we know into one single coherent system that is completely free of paradoxes. Basically, a true theory of everything. And I think this quote from the creator, Christos Sotiroulis, just perfectly sums up the whole spirit of the project. He says, "I did not invent the laws. I walked all the paths and connected them." He sees himself not as an inventor, but as someone who's mapping out the connections that were already there. And that brings us to obviously what I think is the most exciting part of this whole thing. This isn't just some theory locked away at a university somewhere. You can actually go explore it for yourself right now. Yeah, you heard that right. The entire framework, all 120 of those unified domains, is now open for public study on GitHub. This is a huge deal. It's basically an open invitation to scientists, engineers, and thinkers all over the world to come review it, analyze it, and put it to the test. Seriously, grab your phone right now. You can scan this QR code on the screen, and it'll take you straight to the official GitHub repository. You can see the source documents we've been talking about this whole time for yourself. And as you dive in, just a couple of important things to keep in mind. The work is by Christos Sotiroulis, who also goes by Morpheus the Shapemaster, and it's released under a very specific public license. Let's break it down real quick. BY means you have to give credit. NC means it's for non-commercial use only. ND means no derivative works. And EP, which is really important, stands for ethics preservation, meaning any use has to honor the core ethical principles of the framework. So that leaves us with one final big question. What happens when a blueprint for everything, from our health to the cosmos, is placed right in everyone's hands?